6, 9. 8, 6, 9.
Hello, we are at SMRRF at Oxford, and here we have SirWill. And from Discord, you might know him. So here we have him live, and we're going to ask him a couple questions about the new coming printers that Bamboo has up their sleeves. So, SirWill, do you have any idea, or can you give us any information about the newcomers of this year's lineup of the Bamboo printers?
Well, we just released the A1 Mini, and what's interesting is it's selling really well. We thought we'd only have maybe 2 rounds of pre-orders, and sadly, happily, they're selling so fast that every shipment is already sold by the time it gets to the warehouse. We're trying really hard to catch up on those. So people tend to love our A1 Mini. What product out there has a Mini but has no normal sized version of it? You have an iPhone, you have an iPhone Mini. You have a Mac, you have a Mac Mini. Various things are minis, but they usually come after other items. The little brother comes along. Well, in this case, there just might be a big brother, but I have to caution you, this is not the helmet class printer people are expecting or want. There's rumors out there floating around about a new printer coming, and that's typically coming because they've seen trademark registrations and so forth. This just might happen to be a one without the word mini after it. I don't know. Okay, I know. Anyhow, maybe.
You probably know.
I probably do know. Our goal is that when we officially announce this product, it will be in the warehouse ready to ship.
Wow, that's really awesome.
So that's what we want to achieve. That's why we don't have it to announce here at the San Jose Mortimer Rep Festival. I really wanted to be able to be ready to be unveiled here, but sadly, we're still working on it, getting them to the warehouse, along with the minis. Hopefully soon, you will know something.
Okay. Now, we know about the A1 Mini that it's going to get maybe a bigger brother, but about the X1 series or the P1P series, is there going to be anytime soon a bigger printer, a bigger print size printer on the market sooner or later?
Sooner or later, yes, there will be a bigger printer. I will step out on a limb and say that it will not be part of the P1 series or part of the X1 series, or probably not even part of the A1 series. We have our X1 and P1s are all a set size of 256 cubed. And Dr. Tao was on the record in saying on his interview with Stefan from CNC Kitchen that it will be a different product. It will not just be a bigger X1C. And I hope it's not. We put new technology, never done before that I'm aware of, into the A1 Mini. It has its flow calibration via an eddy sensor in the right in the hot end, and it can do flow calibration on the fly. The nozzles in the A1 are also different. They don't have any wires, any heater, or anything else to change. You pull off the sock, you do a little spring action clip off of it, and you pull it out. No screws, no wires. Put the new one in, clip it, sock on, away you go printing. It's a very easy, simple to change thing. Little things have changed on the A1 Mini. And I hope that all these changes that we do, the enhancements we've done to the X1C, the enhancements we did to the X1E, which is just for business and education and sold through the resellers only, some of those features will make it into whatever comes out with our larger class printer. I don't know whether the larger helmet class printer is going to be a bed slinger now, because we said no more bed slingers, and guess what? The A1 Mini came out. Or whether it's going to be the Core XY of the X1 P1 line, but we will have a bigger printer. I don't even know the timeline of when that's going to happen. It is safe to say, though, that you won't see a bigger helmet class in 2023. Will you see it in 2024? I don't know that. I really don't. Does my gut say we will? Yep. I think we will, but I don't know.
I think to keep up with the market, Bamboo has to do something about the print size, because now it's like the new era is bigger printer, faster printer, like they are following up Bambulab's guideline, and also silent printer. So maybe just like the A1 Mini has motors that is compensating the noise levels, maybe the new lineup of the X1 will have these perks also in the printer, in the new printer.
All right, I'm going to drop something that maybe I shouldn't drop right now. It's kind of, we currently have a beta test version going on of the X1 firmware and the P1 series firmware that has the exact same noise canceling setup in it that's in the A1 Mini. It's something that when the X1 launched, one of the people complained about was the noise of the printer. Well, there's a few different things that cause that noise. There's the motors, there is the fans. We can't do anything about the fans through software. And believe it or not, if we had used more noise silent drivers that are out there versus our own drivers, yes, the motors might have been quieter to begin with, but we now have, as the A1 Mini has shown, we have the ability to tune our own drivers, and we can now tune the A1 Mini with noise canceling on the motors, and it's brilliant. It's great. We now have it in the beta firmwares for the X1 and the P1. X1's been being tested for a couple weeks. It's getting close to being ready to ship, and the P1 just started this weekend. From what I can tell, people are loving the new beta firmware. There might be a few little things we have to fix still, but when it comes out, you will be very pleasantly surprised at the difference in the sound of your printer.
Yes, that is awesome news, because it's one of the perks that I really loved about A1 series, that it has a compensation for motor noise, which I've never seen in any printer before. So hearing that it is in better version, that might come onto the X1 series and the P1P series or the P1S series, is really a nice thing to hear, and the community will love it. Even though if it's when it's printing really fast, it doesn't really matter, because still there will be noise will be generated through the motors. But for silent printers, like in the night, for people like who have neighbors that complain, like myself, that would be an awesome perk to have on your X1 series or the P1P, all the lineup. That is something that I'm really loving to hear.
You know, on our X1C and so forth, we have 4 different print speeds. We have normal, we have ludicrous, we have sport mode, and then we have one called silent. Well, funny enough, silent hasn't ever been silent. It will become more silent.
But maybe now it will be really silent.
The most noise you hear now out of the A1 Mini is the fan on the nozzle. I suspect that on the X1 and the P1, the most noise you'll hear are from the fans. Well, you have the aux fan, you have the chamber fan, you have other fans, so the noise is still going to be there from fans, but it really does do something for the motor noise. And one of the things that is different, when you have packaged stepper drivers like from TMC that are labeled silent drivers, those are still just the drivers specifically. They're not motor specific. In our setup, with our noise suppression, cancellation, whatever you want to call it, we have the ability to tune every movement motor in sound. We have the ability to tweak it to each individual motor. So not every motor is identical out there. Not every motor is the same. And that is why sometimes when people apply the noise suppression calibration, they don't see as much of a change as other users, because the motors it's not identical for each motor for the noise. And it's all about resonance and frequencies and different things. I'm no expert in it. But at the same time, that's also why some people complain about the noise of their printers more than other people do. It's because, again, there's a little bit of differences amongst all of them. So that noise suppression is something that is just incredible coming out of our engineers. And those are the types of things that will make whatever the next printer is that will happen to have, be it have a helmet class printer. And well, I don't know what the helmet class is. I don't know whether it's going to be 300 cubed, 320 cubed, 350, 350 by 350 by 320. I don't know. All I know is when I asked Dr. Tao if we would, about helmet class, that everybody wants to know that, he said they will not be disappointed. I hope that's true, but time will tell. Again, I have no timeline on when that bigger printer is going to come, but my gut says it'll be sometime in 2024. I do know that there will be one more printer coming out this fall, because, well, it's kind of safe to say that since the trademarks talk about another one. Of course, it could be right after the first year, but we'll see. I suspect it will be sometime this month.
Thank you very much. SirWill, we have one more question, and that's about the AMS systems of that, the AMS for the AMS Lite, for the A1 Mini. The approach that Bamboo has taken is a much more convenient system than the standard AMS system. So is there any upgrades going to be like an AMS2 or something for the X1 carbon systems, like to have a PTFE tubing going to the nozzle so that you don't have to retract all the way to the AMS system, so that it kind of spares you some time? Or is it going to be same one like this one now, the AMS system that is now, and the new printers might have the same kind of system as a A1 Mini's AMS Lite system?
Okay, so first of all, there's pros and cons to the AMS Lite versus the regular AMS. With that, all the PTFE tubes going to the print head, it's going to be really hard to have more than 4. With the AMS Lite, you'll never have more than one AMS Lite. There's no daisy chain connector on the AMS, so there's no way to add more additional ones. On the X1 and the P1 series, the way they have the hub on the back, you can have more than one AMS with it. You can have up to 4 of them. Heck, you might end up someday having a hub that can do more than 4. I don't know that, but rather than having 4 going to the head and not be able to do any more, you're going to have 1 going to the head if you want anything more than, say, 4. Maybe you might be able to get 6 going to the head, but really I would think that trying to go more than that, that's going to add more weight to the print head also. More weight makes it harder to have high speed. You have to have a happy balance. And I think that's what they did with the AMS Lite, and giving you a 4-spool, open design, less cost. That price entry point on the A1 Mini with the combo just makes it more readily reachable by more people. And it brings color printing to more people easily and more affordable.
Bamboo has, in my opinion, has broken the chain. So now more and more companies will follow Bamboo, just like they are now following with the speeds. And that is like really bright future for all the 3D printing community, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the key is the other color solutions out there that are currently out. The Prusa MMU for the Prusa printers, the Chameleon, which works with a whole lot of printers, but does take a little bit of tinkering to get it done, as well as the palette that's out there. Palette and MMU cost essentially the same or more than our AMSs do. And they're not as reliable. I think that's the key part. We came out with the AMS and the AMS Lite. They both just work. The AMS Lite has a pro of, if it does have filament break in the path, it's a lot easier to remove than it is in the regular AMS. So in some ways, the AMS Lite is simpler and better, but it's also a design that, well, maybe it would be kind of cool if there was a way to do the AMS Lite with multiple ones going to a hub, much like 4 AMSs do, that might work with doing one PTFE to the head, and have the hub just be really close on the external that has more than 4 inputs. But that also might come in the form of our normal AMS, where it's still just one per AMS, one tube per AMS, and you have more than 4 AMS to support it. Part of the problem with that also is I don't think you'll see that on the X1 and the P1 because it's going to require more power, because those AMSs are powered through the AMS bus. And you're going to have to pipe more power in to have more than 4 AMSs. That's why it's limited to 4, I think, is because that's the sweet spot on the power.
I want to thank you, SirWill, for your time. And we are running out of time, I see on my camera, so we have to call it now. But I want to thank you for all your answers that we had, and I wish you a great stay in Oxford. And we will see you in the next time.
Absolutely. I get to go home to America tomorrow, and wow, it's been a fun week, and it's been great being here. It's been great talking to you, and yeah, I'll be doing more of these things. Probably won't make it up. I don't know if I'll make it back over here to SMRRF next year or not, but I hope to be at the Rocky Mountain one, the Midwest, and the Eastern one over in the U.S. next year, and we may have a booth at bigger events like we did for Forum Next in the U.S., and I'll be at those too. Anything that we actually officially go to in the U.S., yes, at this point I'm being invited to, but nothing's on the books yet, but I'll be at these community events in the future. And if you want to meet me, follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter as SirWill. I don't tweet officially for Bamboo. I will do posts officially in our Facebook group and other places as Bamboo, but Twitter's not my domain. But if you want to know what I'm going to, so you can meet me there, I will tweet about it. And feel free to reach out to me and tweet me. So that's it.
Thank you very much, SirWill.